Hi everyone, this is Jason Burack of Wall Street for Main Street. I just want to do a quick video today. I've been thinking about this more. I've talked about this on a number of podcasts. I've repeated rule number one, but I came up with this more. I've been thinking about this a lot more, and this is the three most important investing rules right now based on what's going on behind the scenes from central banks, central planners, the economic and political elites, the bankers, the banksters, the special interest groups, the government bureaucrats in not just the United States but so many other countries, and the hardcore mainstream academics and the Keynesians on Wall Street. So these are the three most important investing rules. And rule number one, I think you guys have heard me talk about on many podcasts. It's politicians and governments can and will change the rules anytime they want, perhaps even on a daily basis. And it's not just in the United States. We're going to see this happen probably in Europe, and for people in developing countries, this happens a lot. So this is normal type of crackpot behavior for monetary and fiscal policy and tax policy from third world countries. But these types of policies have now come home to the developed world because of how over indebted the United States, Japan, Europe, the United Kingdom are. So that's important. I think that's the most important rule, is rule number one. Politicians and governments can and will change the rules anytime they want, perhaps on a daily basis going forward in the future. Rule number two, because of rule number one, people should not go all in on investing in any one asset class or investing in only one country. This is from personal experience. I've looked at the work of literally many hundreds, if not many of thousands, of different experts, whether it's in stocks, different types of stocks, different type of stock methodologies, real estate investing, and did the different investing methodologies for real estate investing. There's a lot of gurus out there who say, only put your money in stocks, or only put your money in real estate, or only put your money in physical precious metals, or only put your money in these 2 or 3 countries. Well, the rules are, unfortunately, guys, we live in a society here where politicians and the banks that support these politicians and vice versa are desperate for money. So politicians are looking for new ways to tax. In Europe, so much of the economy is an underground economy, and in Europe, they're looking for new ways to get that enormous amount of underground economic money spent and on workers' wages, and where people, consume off the books to not pay the VAT tax. They're looking for ways to get people to pay more of their taxes in income taxes and on the VAT tax. And, I think, unfortunately, the U.S. is becoming more like Europe. So we could see an online sales tax in the near future, tracking transactions, maybe online VAT tax or something like that. Obama wants carbon cap and trade. And, we're in a situation here where, if a guru says, you should only put all of your money into cash flow rental properties, right? And if you own 10 different rental properties in 10 different cities in the United States, you're extremely well diversified. Well, you might do well for a while, but what if the rules change? What if we have a situation where rent control is implemented and, the inflation of the dollar picks up, the Fed goes back to massively increasing the quantitative easing program. We have $200 billion or more a month of quantitative easing with rent control across the whole country. So not on a local basis, not in New York City or San Francisco or things like that where there's small amounts of rent control, and look how they've distorted the markets there. But maybe we have nationwide wage and price controls. So you want to obviously, if you do have rental properties, you can do very well in certain areas with other certain factors. You can generate really good cash flow, and your mortgage is essentially going to be wiped away, and your tenant pays your mortgage, and you get to write off, you get phantom depreciation and all these other things. But going all in on only rental properties, I think, is putting all of your capital into just one asset class in just a few cities in the United States. I think it's a no-no. I think it's smarter to be diversified into multiple asset classes if you can afford to do so. So that brings us to rule number 3 of the 3 most important rules for investing, and that is people should focus on creating as many possible income streams as they can from owning different investments and businesses to protect themselves, to survive and thrive whatever is coming in the future, thanks to the myopic stupidity and rent-seeking behavior of parasitical central planners, politicians, bankers, government bureaucrats, and Keynesian economists. So basically, to summarize that in brief, I think people just need to keep adding skills, learning about different asset classes they can invest in. So whether that's a bank on yourself plan, an infinite banking plan, where you could get dividends tax-free for now if you're a U.S. citizen. If you invest in that insurance plan, and you can borrow that to grow your business or make investments and stuff like that, and then it just grows the size of your plan. So you can build equity in that and get tax-free dividends, which are quite substantial. So if you have that, and you have a number of rental properties, and you have physical precious metals, and you have oil investments that are throwing off yield, and you own your own business, or you invested in other businesses that can generate cash flow, and you have a nice diversified stream of multiple income streams, the more income streams you could add, especially as you learn these skills and know what you're doing, the better off you're going to be. Paid consulting clients for Wall Street for Main Street, they get an income ideas report where we are continuously looking in new asset classes and new ideas for ways to teach and suggest for our paid consulting clients to learn how to make money in new markets. And we suggest, if we're not experts, for example, in rental properties, we suggest people like Jason Hartman or Kathy Fetke of Real Wealth Network. And we've had both of them on for podcasts if you want to go back and look. And they have their own podcasts too, which I think are pretty good. But those people would be more of an expert than I am in cash flow rental properties. But obviously, the goal is to just, and unfortunately, I think too many experts out there say, you should only do that one thing or two things, and that's all you need to do. And in the world we are in now, where there's enormous volatility and market intervention and market manipulation and asset price inflation and financial repression, the rules are going to change. So if one asset class, if you're making a lot of money in rental properties, if you made a lot of money since 2009 in those, and you do good for another 5 years, the rules can change and you could be screwed going forward. So, or the same thing could happen, if you're holding precious metals, and if you're only holding gold and you don't own any physical silver or physical platinum and palladium, and you're holding it in the wrong country, or you're holding it in a safety deposit box in a bank. So my main objective here is to, I think these are the three most important rules. I spent a lot of time thinking about this. I've read, as you guys know, probably over 300 books now on business and entrepreneurship and investing. I've interviewed over 300 experts, me, myself, and Mo Dawood. I've listed on different types of investing in asset classes and personal finance. And I've also, listened to thousands of other podcasts and listened to hundreds, if not thousands, of other experts speak on the subject. So these are my own opinion. I don't think I've heard this anywhere else. So these are the three most important rules for investing. We'll call these the golden rules of investing, although I think you shouldn't have all your money in physical gold and silver, and it obviously shouldn't be just in one country if you can afford to do so. So thanks for listening to this video. It's just a really basic video. If you do want our income ideas report for paid consulting clients, you obviously have to be a paid consulting client, and that's just one of the perks you get. And, we add, when we come up with new ideas for our consulting clients to make money, we send those out to our consulting clients where they can learn new skills to make additional supplemental income for their wages or as investors. So thanks everyone for your time for watching this video. And we have Grant Williams coming on this week on a podcast interview. He has a popular investing newsletter called Things That Make You Go, And he also used to manage money, I think, at a gold fund and natural resource fund at Volpez Management. And he worked on Wall Street and investment banks and a whole bunch of financial jobs for over 20 years. So he has a lot of experience. So I'm going to talk with him tomorrow night about financial repression and the other markets and asset price inflation and things like that, and we'll see where he thinks the world is heading now. Thanks again for your time, everyone. Have a good week, and take care.